showtime.
Only slabs.
Hey there, comic book friends and fiends. Rob here in front of the Great Wall of Comics. Let's give it up to Tyler and his dancing, whatever you call that. And having said that, let's bring in the man who's showing us how white it is up in Canada.
It's white.
High contrast, the comic vet. How you doing there, sir?
Good, my man. How are you? And you know what I just learned from watching, because normally when we do that countdown, it's very hypnotic. But one thing I managed to pry myself away from is I actually look. Tyler and his wife have a very nice home. So good for you, Tyler. Good for you.
Yeah, he's done
They
okay.
do.
So
Works hard for the money.
today, I got a guest that I have. So one of the ways that we get guests on this show, we get word of mouth. I mean, but I like to peruse the old Instagram. I start to see people posting slab comics, and I dig into, who's this? Let me go look at what they've posted, and I see some collections of the people post up, and I start going, very interesting. It excites me, and so I reach out to people, and sometimes I get ignored, and some times I get responses. And in this case, today we have today's guest, ladies and gentlemen. A man who's actually just up the road from me in reality. We probably could have shared a studio if we needed to. From Instagram, ladies and gentlemen, at TKB Comics. Tom, welcome to the show, sir.
Gentlemen, thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be here.
I'm happy to be here. And as a special note to all those that are here, today is a momentous occasion. So you're clear. The dancing dad bods have been retired. So if you've been averting your eyes during super chats over the last couple weeks, you can be rest assured there are no more dad bods, dancing dad bods. So congratulations. All you get is just the twerking Tyler at the beginning of the show. That's probably just never going away.
Nothing else.
Yeah, nothing else. Let us go ahead and let's just get it out of the way. Let's go ahead and say hello to the room. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to play Romper Room.
Romper bumper, stomper boo, tell me do. Magic mirror, tell me today, did all my friends have fun at play?
Well, I hope that they will. And today's first comment comes from us from Hulk Collector 82, who can't wait for the show today. Then, of course, right behind our number 2, the man that we love the most. Well, not really, but we love him a lot.
Number 1 in our hearts.
Yeah, that's right. Allegedly from New Mexico, Let's Crucius 1971. How you doing there, sir? Of course, PSN Green Hulkster weighing in from Texas. Up in Canada land. Gene Malo, hello, are you doing, sir? Thank you for joining us. Out in Philadelphia, collecting with Durs. How you doing? All the beautiful
Philadelphia?
homies.
Wait. Or Ohio?
Ohio. I don't know why I'm thinking Philadelphia.
Because he's an Eagles fan.
Oh, that doesn't make any sense to me. All right, never mind. I'm going to stop guessing I'm going to stop saying where people are from unless they say. How's that? I'm sorry to have insulted you, Durs, and suggesting that you were from Philadelphia.
Philadelphia's a lovely city,
though. Well, just because they say that the city of brotherly love doesn't mean they are.
I've been there. It's nice.
Seth 11, how you doing? To all the henchmen and hench ladies or hinch ladies. I'm not sure what a hinch lady is. What's a hinch? Do I want to know?
Move on, Rob.
It's not even a typo because that's like the wrong side of the keyboard. I don't know.
Move on, Rob.
Somebody will tell me. All right, moving on. Chop and Drop 2013. How you doing to everybody? Absolutely. It's slabbing time. Hello. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, the Izzyverse is here. Hello to you. And of course, with the Izzyverse, we also have the Spiral Dimension. Dr. Von Hoot's comics from the Spiral Dimension are here. This is like going like multi-planetary, multiple planes of existence now. Not even international. The show is multiple planes of existence. Exciting to me.
We've gone all multiversed.
Well, I don't know if it's multiverse, but at least multiple planes of existence. Mr. Comics 89, slab me, baby, he says. Excellent. Came to the right place. You shall be slabbed. Sector 2815. He's here, another part of the universe is here, representing.
Great show Wednesday night, wasn't it?
Yeah, so if you guys didn't see it, you go back to Sector 2815's channel. If somebody wants to drop his link, he's really flirting dangerously with like 300 subs, and he puts on a great show every other week. Guess That Key. He has some guests on. They play basically like 20 questions and try to figure out what key comic it is. And you can go back and watch this most recent episode where one of us won. It's me.
This was mine. This was my
Yeah.
key.
Let's see what else. Warlord, how are you doing today, sir?
Warlord.
Happy to have you here. Boom, 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 boom. Couchin' and slouchin' with Seabizzle.
Love it.
Nice.
It's right up there with DVH. Love it.
Kick. Well, and aggressively relaxing.
AR is pretty good too.
Yeah. Cat Fan Comics Man, how you doing? Flash Ray Videos. My chat just blinked on me. Now I think I'm still in the same place. All right. Scrolling through, I'm seeing a lot of people saying hello to everybody. I see people recognizing the Gary B. There's a Gary B. Bang. Gary B. Good afternoon, and go screw Tyler. Well, I don't know if I want to do that, but somebody can. Ladies and gentlemen, the king of all nerds is here. How you doing? Mr. T. Winder. Don't forget to also give him a sub. He's dangerously close to 1,000, and that's been something he's been working for quite a while. So if you guys aren't subbed up to Taylor Winder, it wouldn't be a show if I didn't mispronounce his name. Sorry. Taylor Winder, help him out, get to 1,000. We'd appreciate it. Dr. Hugenstein. Hey now. Absolutely. Boom, boom, boom. I think I'm scrolling through. I think we're doing pretty good here. I think we got a lot of people here today. As I'm scrolling through the list, I'm seeing if I'm missing anybody. Trying to go fast because I know that this. Well, wow. Never fear, Mad Spidey is here.
We really need to get the clip of Nick saying Spidey.
Spidey.
I can't do it.
I can't remember if he was saying that like now is the better time for the next 2 weeks or the worst time for the next 2 weeks. I think it's better right now because America and Canada was forced to drag with us, I think, to adjust your daylight savings time with us because we're a bunch of weirdos. And it would be too weird north and south to be whatever. But we brought you kicking and screaming when we changed daylight savings time start and stop weeks for us from the rest of the world and causes absolutely havoc for 2 weeks here. And I think it's actually better for these 2 weeks for Mad Spidey to join us. But then like in 2 weeks, it gets like atrocious again. Kenneth Bird. Hey, how you doing there, sir? Happy to have you join us today. Man, why is my thinking blinking? Hoarder's Hide just got like 48 slabs back from CGC in ridiculous record time. Of course, it's really hilarious to see that CBCS claims now all of a sudden they're down to like a regular turnaround time of like 30 days or something.
Lies.
I'm like, oh, I just got something back that took 332 days, literally last week. How are you telling me all of a sudden now you're at 30 days?
Yeah.
That seems shenanigans. Where did I just saw somebody? Hold on. I saw Joffrey Castro. Hey, how you doing there? Welcome. Thank you for coming and joining us today. Cole's Comics claims, ladies and gentlemen, more pictures of Spider-Man. Absolutely. We always need more pictures of Spider-Man. Triple G Comics from the UK. How you doing? My wife, the frenzied one. How you doing, baby? Mwah. The Mad Respect is here. And I think we're caught up. I think that is everybody there from the chat. So thank you all for coming on out. I want to thank everybody for making time this Saturday booth. I know some of our regulars aren't here today. They're at Planet Comics and some other stuff. But for everybody who is here, I want to remind you guys all again, 100% of this channel revenue goes to Comics Curing Cancer, benefits the American Cancer Society. So please take time and hit that like button after the show, make a comment, whatever. It helps us to get this show pushed out in front of more people, which helps the ad revenue, which all goes to Comics Curing Cancer. Also, if you wouldn't mind, consider becoming a subscriber if you're not already, or becoming a channel member. All memberships, the merchandise sales, super chats, etc., all of that is donated 100% to Comics Curing Cancer. Our current channel members, thanks to all of them who make this possible: Dale of Suspense Comics, The Real James Willie, Shattered Glass Comic Reviews, Sector 2815, Comics by the Bay, Remy Q Studios, Gary B. the Casual Comic Guy, Circumstances, DJ Links, Beckerman, Flo Dameron, Comic Ozzy, Legion of Comics, Dr. Von Hoot's Comics from the Spiral Dimension, Blue Hellion Comics, Digger Jim 720, PSN Green Hulkster, Tate Prime, Collecting with Durs, Jack B, Actual Dracula, Stephen C, TM Nerdy, Chris at Retro Rocket Comics, Comic Journey, Six Face, Travis Vick, Nix Kicks in Comics, The Comic Viking, Trev the Shipping Guru, Justin Birch Letters, Chaos in Comics, Matt 268, Burke Family 54 Comics, Comics with Murdoch, Norin Rad 82, Austin LeMay, Cupo Comics, Mad Spidey, Comic Man Andy, Switch Comics, Marty Aleco, Hulk Collector 82, Seth 11, Ben Parker Comics, KBDM, Brian LCS, The Comic Vet, Chuck Hennessy, L Green Machine, and Cali Comics and Eli Gunther. Gentlemen, all of you, thank you very much. And finally, before we get into the show, don't forget, you can get your Fat Stacks and OnlySlabs merch at fatstacksmerch.com. All the proceeds there goes to Comics Curing Cancer, as well as if you need to have comics pressed, you can always check out theroguetraderutah.com. If you use the code FATSTACKS at checkout, you can save 20% off pressing, including the already discounted bundles. And when you use that code, $10 is donated from him to Comics Curing Cancer. All right, that's our commercials for today. For right now, thank you. Izzyverse, thank you very much for becoming a member. Much appreciated, sir. We will add you to the board there next week. Appreciate you very much, sir. All right, everybody, let's, without any further ado, Tom, welcome to the show. This is finally the part where 15 minutes in is about where we actually start the show. Oh, Sold Twice, how you doing?
I'm good, you guys.
So, TKB Comics. What's it all about? Just a man who loves his comic book art. How'd you get into comic book collecting?
It's a good question. So TKB is an acronym that stands for the Kylie Boy Comics. That's my handle on eBay. I'm not really a seller. I'm just a dude that collects comics, and occasionally I'll just sell a book here and there. The Kylie Boy is too long to have for an IG handle, so I just chopped it up to TKB Comics. But also, my last name is Kylie, so it could be like Tom Kylie Books.
Right.
But I tell you, I've been a lifelong collector. I've been doing this since I was like 7 or 8, and I got into it because my older cousins, all brothers, and the closest things to brothers I've ever had, being an only child, they were comic collectors, and I wanted to be just like them. And their love of comic collecting waned as they developed. It never waned for me. It's always been an undercurrent in my life, kind of from the beginning. So there were short windows in time where I kind of pressed pause, but like invariably I came back to the hobby that we all love so much.
Yeah, you said Mad Spidey already chiming in. He's original art. He's excited. He's a big OA guy.
I noticed that we're not going to be having their first appearance at Deadpool because it's located just beside his shoulder, right behind him there. So,
yeah, it's mirrored. It's a weird.
So yeah,
all right.
So
awesome.
The Deadpool fans out there, sorry, but just look at the book. It'll be there all show.
Scott says art. You say, yeah, Scott. If you don't own it, Scott does. That's just how it works. Yeah. All right, cool. Let's get us kicked off here. What do you want? What'd you bring us first for the first slab to break everybody in?
Okay, well, I'm going to start with my favorite character. All right. And I am a big Namor fan. I just think he's regal. He's arrogant. He's kind of divisive, but like he never backs down from a fight. He wins more than half of them. He's a badass, and his arrogance is just hilarious, And so I'm just going to start with this guy here.
Oh, nice.
Submariner 1, 7.5. And
the broadest chest in comics in the late 60s, early 70s, right there.
Sure. It's just such a killer cover. It was 1968. It was a time where these beginning of these runs were beginning, and you can tell they spent a lot of time on creating these covers, and this is one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a great book.
Part of the. Sorry, Rob, go ahead.
I had a copy for quite some time, and it was it's I thought they did really well with bringing the character into the MCU, even if the overall movie, whatever you thought of the overall movie, I thought as a character it was fairly well done, even despite them tweaking some of the stuff. But it was great. And it's unfortunate to see that if you were a value person, that the value on this book is tanked so bad afterwards.
Yeah.
It's really actually just right back to where it was before everything. But because I know a 7.5 is only around a $400 book now, whereas
Yeah.
before it was almost $1,000 book at one point.
I think the same can be said about just about all these Bronze Silver Age books. We're kind of in a valley of the market, but as markets go, we're hoping that turns around.
Yeah, great history book. Yeah, Namor really is one of those. He's one of those big, long-term characters that really is understated, given his importance to Marvel. How long he's actually been around, and how he goes back and forth between hero to antagonist and everything else is really does
Yeah,
get
and
love.
I think that's one of the main reasons why I like him so much is that he's got this code of honor that he doesn't really compromise very often and or ever. I don't know what that's about, but as with all the Marvel characters, none of them are perfect. None of them are like, gods or whatever. They're just, they've got their problems. And so I'm sticking with the Namor theme for a little bit. And I really am a fan of him just like beating the shit out of other characters.
Nice.
And so this is another one that I just really like.
Boy.
Namor
2 bangers
8.
in a row. Yes, sir.
And so, I mean, look at that cover. I think the first 8 or 9 issues of this run are just unbelievable as far as covers go.
Yeah, I used to have 1 through 12 at one point, and all in fairly high grade. And that one right there is one of those covers that's in your first 10. That's obviously the number 3 book as far as value goes, or price, what they go for. Mostly just because in high grade, this, again, we've talked about it many times, that all black is tough, and people love the Thing fight covers. I mean, it's
yeah.
So, Rob, when you approached me for the show and you said to pull 30 slabs, I was like, I don't know if I can do that. That's just kind of a lot. And then as I was doing the process, I'm like, God, I don't know where to cut it. Like, it's just,
right?
I like accumulated like 60. I'm like, God, that's too many. And so I'm hovering around like 30 or so. So I'm going to run through these kind of quickly, if that's
fair enough. Yeah.
So again, Namor beating the shit out of people. Strange Tales 107.
Oh yeah.
Classic Kirby cover. One of the things that you'll probably see today in my collection is I don't have like these 9.8s, like these big banger books.
That's okay.
I tended to be this completionist where I like try and seek out runs and try and get like 1 through 200. And so when you do that, you're going for volume, and you're not dropping hundreds of dollars on one book. And so I got a 4 and I'm happy with it. I mean, look at that cover. It's great.
Value collecting is perfectly acceptable. Find that point where the value is, where it meets the presentation that you want, that you're happy with, because it's your collection. Who cares if somebody else says, oh, it's not a 9? You go buy a 9. So, I'm fine with it right here. Thank you very much.
Tom, let's just talk about that cover just for a second. Where you put it down. I'm a big Fantastic Four fan. I have been since my teens. I fell in love with their arc where Thing left and then She-Hulk stepped in momentarily.
Sure.
Now, for those that are watching, can you tell us, is that Johnny that's on the cover, or is that Toro that's on the cover? Because Submariner, as we know, has affiliation with both Toro and Johnny Storm as the Human Torch. Is that one Johnny, or do you know?
Are you asking me?
Yes.
I don't know. I assumed it was Johnny, because like Johnny is the star of the first several of these Strange Tales.
Okay.
I think it's kind of it's possible that they wanted to pair these guys up to fight because of his relationship with Toro.
Right.
But I think Toro from the Invaders didn't have a face, and Johnny does.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see like a slight outline of Johnny's face here.
Okay.
Slight, but not much. Maybe the viewers know, but I don't have an answer for that one.
Okay.
Right. More Namor kicking ass. Namor beating up Ben again.
Yeah, take him to the water. Yeah.
This one came back kind of recently. I was hoping that these came back a little bit higher grade, but hey, 6.0 on an old book like this. Can't really beat it. Yeah, solid. But they say Namor in the water, he's unbeatable, right?
That's right. Sometimes you get those because you'll get them. The book can be damn perfect, but that era, if they have a sub crease in them at all, that just limits it. It doesn't matter how good the book is. 6.0 is the cap.
It's true. And even decades beyond that, I think I was collecting until like the mid 80s, and I never bought a backer board until like,
right,
87, 88, let alone a Mylar. So here we got an Iron Man book. This is 54.
I love the rivet Iron Man covers.
Yeah, me too. So this is the first print of Moondragon, but I love it so much because it's a Gil Kane cover. One of my favorite stories ever is from a What If title. It's What If #3, and what if the Avengers never been? And it's basically, are you guys familiar with this book?
Slightly.
Okay, so it was a book that, if the Avengers disassembled, what happens? And so in this book, Tony Stark creates these iron suits for Rick Jones, Hank, and Jan. And so you have like these 4 iron people, and they're going up against Hulk, who has teamed up with Namor. And there's this epic fight. And Gil Kane is on pencils, Klaus Jansen's on inks. And it's the first time I remember reading this and kind of tearing up a little bit because Tony sacrifices himself to like save the day. And he ends up dying in this spoiler, but he ends up dying in this story. And so like anytime I see like Gil Kane doing Namor and Namor beating the shit out of Tony, I got to pick it up. So I've got like 3 or 4 of these issues.
That's great. What year was this book released?
This is a 73.
Okay.
Yeah. It's the book right before the first appearance of Thanos.
Nice.
All right. A couple more Namor books. So this next one features the first time Namor was referred to as a mutant.
Oh, God, Peter, hit me!
Yeah!
Ow!
What was that?
Periodically, you'll get these random things that pop up when
we like the book. Yeah, you'll know.
We really like the book.
Yeah. So here we go. We got a custom label here of mutants, and let's not forget that Namor is a mutant.
Yeah, that's right.
And there we go.
Marvel's first mutant as opposed to the first mutant.
Timely's first mutant, but yeah.
What is that?
Timely's first mutant, but yeah.
Yeah.
And the first mutant being Apocalypse? Is that?
Yeah, the first. Yeah,
Well,
Apocalypse
yeah.
is the first mutant, but Marvel's first mutant is Submariner.
Exactly. All right. Last Namor book is this one.
Oh. Okay, hold on.
Yeah!
Yeah,
That's awesome.
First Tiger Shark.
Yep. And so, this came back recently. I was pretty surprised with the gray. I was really happy with it, obviously. And again, look at that cover. It's just popping with colors, blue and red. And
this is the number
beautiful.
2 book in the bunch. I'm Submariner. Was it number? That's number 6 or 5?
This is 5. This is 5. Yeah.
5.
This is 5.
And a 9.6. Holy
FMV and a 9.6. I don't know if I've ever seen such a high grade for that book.
No, I think the best I've ever seen is an 8.
I think Tom's right. It is so bright and beautiful.
Holy Toledo.
It's pretty nice.
Yeah.
It's pretty nice.
So So, Tom, do you know what that its value is right now on a 9.6, or are you going to just now find out for the first time?
I have no idea.
All right. Chris, you want to venture to guess?
I'm not well versed in Namor
some
FMVs,
yeah.
but I'm going to guess 2K.
So on February 12th, 2023, of 9.6 of this book just sold for $2,999.99.
Wow,
Cool.
$3,000. That's
Wow.
awesome.
Now, previous to that, the last time a 9.6 sold was 2 years ago. So that really kind of sets your mark now, as there was none sold in this grade during the height of the pandemic, during the big boom. So there you go.
Yeah, and I went with the FF label.
Me
So
too.
what the hell? I was pretty happy with it.
That's it.
Can't go wrong with the Fantastic
I'd be
Four.
happy with that. Yeah.
All right, you guys. So when I
Wow, right.
when I got out of college and I started really collecting seriously and I wanted to focus my collection on collecting full runs, I prioritized Spidey because everybody does. But that series has never slowed down in terms of value, and so like I was always outside of the affordability, and so I said, "Fuck it, I'm gonna like work on other runs." And my second favorite character in the Marvel universe is this guy right here.
Oh my! I was not expecting that.
No,
I did not expect you go.
Here's
to
a
go
Spider-Man
double D.
picture right
All
here.
That's
Yes.
right. And this was a character that up until 2 years ago was high value from a standpoint of being
Respect.
well, not that it cost a lot of money, but that it was a high value on your return on your investment type of thing.
Wow.
It was a book that was the whole run. I'm still outside of now the first 10 are pretty pricey books.
Yeah.
But we used to compare like what the first, number 10 through 50 of Daredevil run you for a comparable ASM for books at the same time. And it's night and day difference with what the cost runs, but this is finally getting his respect.
Well, exactly what you said, Rob. I couldn't afford a Spider-Man 30, and so I said, "Screw it! I'm going to go for the Daredevil run 1 through 200." That's what I did. And, ended up with this one, and then I got a second copy that I recently sold. But yeah, that's probably a lifer in my PC.
That's definitely like Dr. Hussein. That is a beaut. Absolutely.
These comments are cracking me up, by the way. So if I like start laughing, it's
no.
All right,
these are fans who appreciate you coming on to share.
Sticking with Daredevil, we got the first red suit, number 7, and with the theme of Namor kicking some ass.
I totally forgot it was Namor that was throwing him around with the red suit. Right.
So here we got my two favorite characters kind of duking it out, and it's really not a fight at all, but the story tells a lot about the integrity of Namor, who could literally rip Matt in half if he wanted to.
Yeah, let's be honest. Yeah.
And Matt's kind of like, I will never back down if it means I can save one life. And so it tests his mettle, and we learn a lot about these two characters in the story. So yeah, this has been in my collection for decades. So I was really happy when this grade came back.
Welcome, Fanboy Prime.
And, Daredevil went through kind of like a who gives a shit period where this writing was so mediocre and just no one cared about him until Frank Miller came on board, and really fell in love with Frank's artwork, storytelling. And he brought like a cinematic quality to the way he did his sequential art, in my opinion, particularly the fight scenes. And so I would be remiss if I didn't bring this book up.
Love it.
168, First Electra.
Love it. 168. It's funny that you only stuck around like 168 because 181 is another, probably one of the most famous Daredevil books of all. That she was only around for 13 issues. Like,
dude,
and
right.
She's technically almost a household name at this point now.
I think
Yeah.
anybody that loves this hobby and has had and read 181 probably has a story about to what degree it impacted them.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Those panels where there's no dialogue and she's just crawling somewhere, and it's Matt's door. And so, Miller did it well. And then he got in big trouble for killing her. And then he had to bring her back.
So she got
Kind of
better.
jumped the shark at that point, but yeah,
She got better.
jumped the tiger shark. But yeah.
All right. So I said that Daredevil went through an era of who gives a shit. And I think, I wasn't a fly on the wall, but I had to imagine like what the creators of this title were doing, trying to scratch their head. Like, what's the formula? What's the secret sauce? Why can't we get sales? And so after the first year, they come out with an annual. And I have this vision of like, you know what? We need to come up with Daredevil's version of the Sinister Six, and it's going to like explode. That's the secret sauce. And so they came up with Electro's, what is it?
Emissaries of Evil.
Emissaries of Evil. Never really caught fire.
I wonder why.
Wasn't really sweeping the nation.
The Triple E Club. Yeah. But look at that grade, an 8.5. I'm presuming that's 65?
It's what?
What year is that book? 65?
Oh, good question. It is 67.
Okay. It's
Sweet.
a great grade. But yeah,
Man.
sometimes you just throw darts at the wall, right?
And
Sure,
sometimes you
darts. That's what they're throwing.
Trying to be
sometimes
nice.
you completely miss a dartboard. All right. Well, let's go back to what inspired that book. Is this guy right here?
Oh,
Annual 1. Cool. I love this book.
Yeah.
I just love this book. So it's funny. It was one of the books that I bought, and I was so mad at myself for buying it because A, I couldn't afford it, and B, I was so pissed that it was cost so much, and C, it's like it's an annual. It kind of doesn't count. Like, annuals are stupid. Why am I spending so much money on the stupid annual? I don't regret it now, but I remember at the time, like, I could have bought like 20 Daredevil books for this stupid book. Here we are.
Right? I mean, it is what, because as a guy who's working on my 1 through 100 ASM run, and of course Chris has already done his run, except with the exception of this book, right? And I said, I keep going, like, I had a couple copies come up in front of me, and it's like, well, am I gonna buy it? I don't know. It's not really 1 through 100. It doesn't. If I don't have it, will it bother me not having it as part of my 1 through 100, or do I need to
Yes.
have it?
It's one of those examples of an
Maybe
annual
once I
where-
have the 1 through 100, I'll worry about it, Chris. I don't know.
Yeah. I see that Seth 11 saying that he likes the trade in different colors, and it's incredible. I got to be honest, it's one thing I don't like about the cover is I
The Spider-Man, it's a
the trade dress in multiple colors, but
it's
like
like
I
a kid did it.
recognize how important this book is. It's the first, it's the first Sinister Six, and Sinister Six still exists to this day. But yeah, it's tough as a Spider-Man completionist. It's the annuals. You're right, guys. It's just one of those things. It's, do we do it? Do we not do it? Now, this is a book that's now one of those almost unreachable books. Even low grade, they're very expensive now. But yeah, good for you. And a 4.0, that's a terrific grade.
I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of shocked it didn't come back restored or qualified, because there's like 15 pinups in this book.
Oh yeah.
And it was so well read back in the day. These square bound binds, they fall apart and the glue dries up, and so you always have like glue after the fact. And I got kind of lucky. I'm really happy with this.
Yeah, great.
So did somebody say that they wanted to see pictures of Spider-Man, and what was that about?
Oh yeah, that was Cole. He always back in the early day, he always does his J. Jameson. I need to see pictures of Spider-Man.
All right, well,
How's the bugle?
I aim to please. So we got some Spideys coming up.
Oh,
Spidey 3, first Doc Ock. Yeah, kind of enough said,
yeah, really. I mean, Doc Ock is he's not the number one, but to me, he's He's my favorite rogue of the rogues, but I mean, I recognize the fact that he's really number 2 in the rogues gallery, behind Green Goblin as far as importance for Spider-Man.
Yeah. No, it's big, and it's so a little bit of a timeline of my relationship with this hobby. You know, I started my pursuit of full runs, so like Spidey was the prioritized. I was in my early 30s. This is over 20 years ago, and I bought this right before the pandemic hit. So it's taken me that long to like try and check those boxes.
I get it.
Yeah.
It's not quick.
I get it.
No.
This is not doing a Spider-Man run is not something that's done in
It's
a
up
year
to a faint of heart,
or even 10 if you're me. But yeah,
it's a slow moving train for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's actually one of my favorite Ditko covers. Actually,
is it?
Yeah. Because Doc Ock is we're from looking at him from behind, and he's darkened out, and Spider-Man's basically, left in a vulnerable position. And like, again, there's a lot of word bubbles, but for that era, it's almost, they actually fit with the cover, whereas opposed to the first appearance of Craven, where it's just it's almost
as
like
JB would
chapter book. Yeah.
As JB would tell us, it's very good lettering. They've managed to not cover up and hide anything. What's great on this one, and this is really why, is like when you get in this, I always tell why we keep talking about. Look, if you want to get a Spider-Man run and you haven't done it, consider Spectacular or anything else, unless you just got money, because this type of stuff's going to break your heart. When I talk about my journey, and Chris has talked about his journey on this book, and I'm down to 7 books left that I need to get, and this is one of them. Right? You look at a book like this on a 4 or 5, which you think, okay, 4 or 5, that's lower grade. It's great. 4 or 5, sold this within the last 7 days. It was $3,120 for a 4 or 5. You can't get a copy of this book for less than $1,000. Everything on it from even a 0.5 will run you over $1,000. So it's just a book that it's pricey.
Yeah,
but phenomenal. Good.
Thank you.
We're always happy to see it.
I didn't pull it for today's stack, but I bought my number 4 during the pandemic from one of your prior guests, DJ E3.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
Solid guy, by the way.
Yeah.
Really cool dude.
For Sandman, I believe, right? Yes.
That's right.
For 4 boxes. Yep.
Okay. Sticking with Spidey.
Yeah. We always love Spidey here.
So number 2.
Vulture. Vulture.
For Vulture.
Yes.
Love this cover. Love this cover.
Yeah. It's always it's crazy to me that Vulture was like really, think about it, he was introduced before Green Goblin or some of these other villains that are so much more iconic, whereas Vulture, I don't know, he always seems a little goofy to me, just me personally, but
Yeah, he does seem goofy, and his head literally looks like a vulture's head, like from those old cartoons. But still,
it's the Tinkerer's in that issue as well. Not to take him away, because Tinkerer's been around, had some good story arcs as well. But yeah, that's again, good cover. Not a fan of the red sky myself, but yeah, it works as a whole. Yeah, that's again 4.5 for ASM2.
What are your opinions of
incredible?
What are your thoughts on Ditko's Cityscape?
Well,
I don't know if I have a problem with the cityscape. I think Spider-Man's more awkward to me than anything. But I mean, I recognize Ditko for what he is. But he's not necessarily any stretch of imagination one of my top artists that I like from a style standpoint. Recognize the greatness is separate from me personally. It's not my cup of tea for the most part.
Yeah.
Well,
but
let's just remember, like, Spider-Man was a character that wasn't supposed to stick, wasn't supposed to land, and it did. So they didn't really change up the creative team until they realized that he was the whole damn franchise. And then one thing led to another. We got John Romita, and then John Romita's run and artwork is generally the one that most people say when it comes to classic Spider-Man. It's Romita's work they enjoy.
Mhm.
It's the cityscapes. Again, like he's Hall of Fame artist, but if he wasn't a part of the creative team for Spider-Man, would he be recognized the same way that he is today?
So, like, I agree. Like the cityscape, actually, in my opinion, probably has more detail than most cityscapes relative to what was being put out back in the day. You guys ever listen to or follow Eric Larson?
Yes, Savage
So
Dragon, Eric Larson.
Exactly. He's got some really good insights about how art has evolved over time and how it's gotten to the point where the details are so incredible with some of the artists just like spending painstaking details too, like cityscapes and each individual brick that's being laid and all the details of certain New York buildings and things like that. And he's kind of the opinion, I don't want to put words in his mouth, I'm totally going to mess this up, but like he's of the opinion that it's kind of not necessary. And in some ways it kind of detracts from the focal point of the panel.
It's funny you say that. Just to speak quickly on this topic, Todd McFarlane said the same thing, that sometimes he has to get other artists to handle Spawn because he has so much going on, and that he'll go in and proof everything, and he'll talk to the artist like, look at this one particular panel. It's the side of a building, and he spent so much time drawing this wonderful air conditioner, and the colorist has come in and added rust on top of the stainless steel, and it looks wonderful. But you know what I'm going to do with this? I'm going to slap a big old word bubble over top of your work. Just remember where this is going to be placed inside of the book in relation to the character speaking. So yeah, I totally understand what you're saying. Larson and McFarlane, obviously they're old time partners, but yeah,
exactly,
have that in common.
I've got something from that era coming up in a little bit. All right. Last but not least, maybe you've seen this before. Spidey 1, signed by Stan. This is...
We need to do it. Hold on.
Yeah! This is my best ever!
Yeah.
This is
awesome.
one of the babies in my PC.
As it should be, right, Chris?
I get it. Mm-hmm. I get it.
Yeah. The Holy Grail copies is.
Yes. What year did Stan sign your copy?
He signed it in 2009. Yeah, May of 2009. And then it was reholdered sometime between then and now. Yeah, this came out in March of '63. Classic Grail. Thank you. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And this doesn't happen. I have to just thank my wife.
First Chameleon, isn't it?
It is the first Chameleon. Yeah.
There we go. Holy smokes.
Yeah, first Chameleon. First supervillain in a Spider-Man story.
So I think our second Chameleon is 5, right? With Doom.
Yes. Yep, the Doom cover. And then after that, we get Lizard, I believe.
Good call.
Yeah.
So funny quick story. Earlier, I mentioned that I had 3 older cousins who collected comics. And in San Francisco, their LCS was in the Sunset off of 7th Avenue. And in that LCS, there was a cabinet with like their keys. And this book, not literally this one, but like Spider-Man 1 was in the cabinet. And they're like, you guys, there's Spider-Man 1. They're selling it for $100. And we're like, $100? Oh my God, that's crazy.
For a comic book.
Yeah.
My copy is a 2.0. It's also signed by Stan. And I think last time I looked it up, it was over 10 at this point. So I'm presuming 4.5 with a grade bump for Stan's autograph. We're looking at what, Rob?
Let's forget that. But let's go ahead and just let's pull it, because always everybody likes to know. And my wife can learn how much I really need to save up. Or she knows when I get one, how much I am in trouble. Right now, I just live off of my facsimiles and my Dallas, all the other variants. All right, ladies and gentlemen, in a 4.5 recent sale, January 29th, 2023, $12,400.
All right. Woo.
Yeah, this is a book right now that even a 0.5
Spidey.
a 0.5 will run you over $4,000.
Wow. Bananas.
Yep.
Well,
Second appearance of Spider-Man.
A raw copy in the fair to poor range will run you around $3,600.
very cool. Okay.
Wow.
Second biggest key in Spider-Man.
Yeah, that's why I always say, like, yeah, I may never have that one, or if I do, it's going to be a ways off. I'm going to have to do a lot of saving, or stumble across one by pure happenstance. I'll have to start going to more garage sales and flea markets and find something stuck between the pages like Matt Woods.
It
That is-
happens.
That's never happened to me.
Yeah, well, Matt Woods was on, and he brought his out, and it's really, really rough. But it was literally, he was at a garage sale, and it was stuck to the back of a Mad magazine or something that he was, and he, had to pull it apart, and so it's really rough because there's transfer and everything else. But he has an ASM #1 that he spent less than like $20 on.
Incredible.
It doesn't matter.
Right, exactly.
It doesn't matter.
I would have it. Yep.
All right, moving on.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, so we got this guy.
Oh, yes.
Yes. Burning up the heart charts, burning them up.
Yes.
So, yeah, I got this when Kingpin wasn't what he is. This is actually before, I don't know, when Bendis was writing Kingpin during the Marvel Knights Daredevil run.
Mm-hmm.
And Kingpin just wasn't, as popular as he is now.
Right.
And so, like, he picked this up because, like, look at that cover, please. Please look at this. Look at it. It's incredible. It's gorgeous.
Iconic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Got the custom label. And
that's where I differ. I get in trouble with everybody else in the world. It's not my favorite cover. I'm not a big fan of that cover, but
no.
But I understand I'm wrong.
Yeah. Well, no, the thing is that it's iconic. You may not have to appreciate the artwork or whatever, but it's so iconic at this point now. It's been homaged even in Spider-Man films by both Spider-Man and now the Green Goblin himself. Like, so it's a special book for many reasons, including Ramita's work on the cover as well. That's a great book, Tom. Great book.
Right. So, when I was a kid, there was these two books coming up. Well, let me just start with this one here. Just meant so much for just the story itself, and it was the first time where you can't believe that the writers did this. Like, why did you do this? That's just not cool that you did this. And so I went to my LCS, and they were having an auction there, and I brought like $20 hoping to buy this book, and some asshole outbid me, and it's just one of those books that has just evaded me for years and years and years, but finally got into my collection. And
yes,
Death of Gwen, 121.
Yeah. Did she have it coming? Did she have it coming? If you're a Peter fan, I'm just joking.
Yeah.
Again, alive and well. No, not different Gwen.
Yeah, different. Yeah,
different Gwen.
This one hasn't come back.
This one has she has managed to stay, and her father too.
And she was kind of flawless too, right? She was almost like a Christ-like figure. She did nothing wrong. She may have been like the drama-free love of Peter's life, and
all she did was move on.
Well, thanks to retconning, she's done nothing wrong.
Right.
Well, yeah, you got to remember though, in this time, Jerry Conway had her with Norman Osborn, and she was in the early stages of her pregnancy, and a lot of people don't realize that, but
But this is such a book that has so much impact on Peter and the rest of what goes on, right? Because there's Uncle Ben and Gwen Stacy, that those two deaths above anybody else's, that just really impact him throughout the rest of his hero's journey. So major book.
Totally
incredible book.
And 9-4, I was pretty surprised that it came back at that grade. So I was super
we had
happy
Mary
with that.
Jane before Gwen had died,
but now we had no other options, Rob.
Yeah,
that's what he's trying to say. There's no other options now.
No, Betty Brant. I know.
So
Peter always did okay. Oof, yeah.
We have the couple to this mini arc, so that he will have his revenge, and he did.
Yeah, love that cover.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's top 5 ASM covers of all time for me. Love
So
it.
here's a funny thing. So like this little part here, the exploding pumpkins. When I was a kid, I never paid that much attention to it, and there was like part of my periphery in my brain that thought that was a Union Jack flag.
I do the same thing in my head all the time too, and it's like, why would they have a bunch of Union Jacks? Wait, oh, it's not Union Jacks.
It's not the London Bridge. What's going on here? So yeah, for obvious reasons, this book means a lot to me. Also was outbid on this book too, but yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So does the audience.
Yeah.
Absolute fire.
So I got a couple more before I'm about halfway done.
Okay.
Oof, wow.
Okay.
All right.
Is that about? Are we?
That's fine. Yeah, we'll run along. It's fine.
Okay.
I got nowhere to be.
Psychedelic Comics, Triple G Comics. Thanks for joining us today.
All right. Another
Manny.
Spidey book.
All right. Oh yeah,
Jackal!
right, Jackal.
Live.
Everybody
Yes.
loves this. Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Jackal.
That, and as we've learned when our friend Karate Kevin was on, the Skull Warrior.
Yeah, the Skull Guy.
Yeah,
The skull
Scully,
warrior.
Scully, the Skull
Yeah.
Warrior.
Yeah, good old
Yes.
Frank. Yeah. Frank.
I was
Frank the
actually
Skull
glad
Guy.
that the facsimile had come out recently on this one, only because that was the first time I actually ever read his origin, his first appearance and stuff. So it's kind of great.
Cool.
But yeah, TKB bringing all the fire. Absolutely, Tom is doing
For
it.
sure, for sure.
Oh, wait, we have a request. They said we have to
Okay.
hit the Remy on this one.
Yeah! Yeah!
There we go.
I love that guy. I don't know who he is. He's
Remy,
great.
well, Remy from Remy Q Studios. He's one of our friends in our circle. And in fact, tonight, plug for those who aren't over on Remy Q Studios' place. Someone's dropped the link for us. Is usually Remy's place. It's just a hangout with members of the comic community. Anybody's welcome. Just come and hang out and just talk about comics or whatever else is going on in pop culture, as we just hang out and shoot the shit.
Right on, right on. So quickly about this book. So this was in the middle of me trying to assemble the 1 through 200 run, and this is one of the books that I didn't feel badly about dropping excessive amounts of money on at the time. This is in the early 2000s, and I said, screw it, I'm going to get like the first Punisher, and but it still was a lot, and at the time I spent $70 on this book. $70.
You freak.
But yeah, the guilt meter was really reduced because obvious reasons.
Yeah,
Definitely now.
It's always amazing, right? When you go, man, I can't believe what I paid for this then compared to now. Even if adjusted for inflation, you would do it every day and twice on Sunday.
Oh yeah, for sure. If only we had a time machine, right, guys?
Oh yeah, Izzy says that you overpaid.
We're all guilty. Yeah.
All right, last book before halftime.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and I think appropriate. Spidey 100.
Beautiful.
And this is signed by Stan's signature verified CBCS. And can you find the signature? It's kind of like a Where's Waldo.
Okay.
Right, because he probably signed in black, knowing him.
Yeah, probably in between his thumb and forefinger on his right hand. No.
Here,
I always thought it was funny they put Kingpin right by his butt there.
You can't actually see it.
Yeah.
Can't you see it on the camera? See it? Right there on
Yep. Oh, is that in gold?
it's in gold.
Okay.
Interesting.
Yep.
That's
pretty
okay.
good
Very,
guess.
very,
Yep.
very.
Between
Okay,
his thumb and forefinger. Look at that.
Yeah.
Anyway,
It's not a big one, but yeah. There your comic say, yeah, beast of a book, and
Yes.
I agree.
So-
Yeah, I was actually surprised how much this book runs, because it's not a first appearance.
No, it's not a key other than it's just a centennial issue. And that's
Right.
actually a book that I managed to find in the garage sale myself.
It was I just picked my copy up finally
Mhm.
recently, but it was one of those books that was like always, my God, what? This is
I love the cover.
yeah.
Love the cover. Everybody's there. Centennial. And yeah, sometimes you just got to buy a book because of the cover. This is one of them.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, those we got here. I can't remember what I paid for my SM300 back in the day early on, but obviously it's less than this one. Yeah, okay, yeah, 300 is one of those ones. Yeah, dope cover, absolutely.
Mine was
Awesome.
cover price.
Wow, thank you, man. So far, that's a rip roaring beginning to our beginning to the show. First half. Thank you guys very much there, guys. If you're following us right now, this is the point of the show where we'll take our brief intermission here for us to be able to do a giveaway. And so, with that, we're going to in just a second here. I'm going to give you the hashtag, and it is going to be Make Mine Marvel. Since everything was all Marvel here in this first half, Make Mine Marvel, and go ahead and type that in. It doesn't have to be capitalized, but otherwise it needs to be all together one word. And we'll run a giveaway for some books from our pull box. Your chance to win some free comics, potentially some keys, slabbed comic books, even some merchandise. Who knows what you're going to get there? Anywho, well, that's going on. Chris, what's coming up or has recently been released there on the Comic Vet channel?
This past Monday, I released my Todd McFarlane video, the book that came back from CGC, all autographed. Tuesday, I released my most recent Grow Together Tuesday. And yesterday, some of you may have already noticed in the chat that I'm not wearing my normal jersey like what Rob has on. That's because yesterday I went to Toronto's Fan Expo's Spring Edition, better known as simply the Toronto Comic Con, wearing that jersey. And so that video was released yesterday. So if you're curious to see what the granddaddy of all Comic Cons in Canada looks like, well, this is its stepbrother.
This isn't it, but
this is the stepbrother version. However, it was a wonderful con. A lot of people were there. There was Artist Alley was packed. There's a lot of key books that were there. I tried to show as much as pulp culture as I could, just walking around, trying to catch all the sights of this terrific con. And if you have a chance later on this afternoon, swing by my channel and check out that fun video. Thanks,
awesome.
Rob.
Yeah. No, guys, and of course, if you hadn't already seen it earlier this week, I had dropped my video from the Berkeley Comic Show. Great little comic show. And of course, then on Monday was the haul video that included, if you spoiler, my big boy book that I picked up from their ASM 14, and then a whole bunch of other books that I picked up. Coming up this coming Monday, got a CBCS unboxing, and then on Thursday there'll be I think there's a mystery box that's being undone. I don't remember. Anywho, then of course next week, guys, on Saturday, Jerry the Jitterbug next Saturday. So hoping that Jerry's going to bring by some of the books that he's worked on as well, so we can see some of the stuff that what he's been able to do when his works his magic on some of those golden age books. All right, we have 42 out of 43. That's like the absolute 99% participation is crazy. Let's pull it now, ladies and gentlemen. Wheel of Fish. Our winner is Seth 11. Congratulations, sir. All right, so let's go ahead and move here. Let's do this. Let me grab the box. All right, so Tom.
Yes.
You're going to help by pulling books for Seth. We're going to be doing 6 picks initially here, unless we get some stuff that tells us more. I need you to give me either a number between 1 and 10 from the front, 1 and 10 from the back, or we could do back to front action and you just then tell me where to stop, and then we'll pull from there. What should we do first?
Let's start with 5 from the front.
5 from the front. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, next up.
7 from the back.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Okay.
Right. So what happens now?
We got 4 more to pull. You
Okay.
can continue to do as you've done, or we can do front to back.
Oh, got it. So let's do 11 from the front. Can we do that? No.
You want an exception. I said 1 through 10 usually because I don't want to count forever, but I'll make an exception. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. All right.
All right, let's do 3 from the front.
Seth just asked, "Did I win?"
Yep. All right. 2 more.
Lucky number 7 from the back.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay.
And somewhere from the middle, count 6 in your direction. You
just tell me when to stop.
Stop.
Okay. The book that's in front or behind my finger?
Front.
In front. All right. Not bad. All right. Seth, you got some books here, man. Banger time. Ready? Right out of the gates. Banger, banger, banger. Look at that.
Ooh.
Brave and the Bold 28. Obviously facsimile.
Nice.
But it's still phenomenal book.
Obviously, the facsimile.
Look,
only
I'm
because of
generous,
its condition,
I'm
Seth. Only because of its
generous.
condition.
but I ain't that generous.
You can tell it's.
How about Marvel premiere featuring Black Panther number 51?
Nice.
Oh,
That's
a
cool.
great cover.
It's a really good book.
And ladies and gentlemen, every single one of these, of course, comes with 2 Pokemon cards, courtesy of Tyler, Shatterglass Comic Reviews. This one, I don't know anything about these things, despite what everyone wants to say. I will only say that it has shiny, foily stuff on it. So if comic books have ever told me anything, if it's shiny and foily, it's worth money. All right, next banger book up. Okay, well, not as banger, but still a great book, because it's one of my favorite stories from this title. Batman Detective Comics from New 52, Night of the Owls. So it's a Court of the Owls tie in there. We got Talons of the Talons. It's great. I loved all the stuff with the Court of Owls. Great books.
That's
Yeah,
cool.
that was a fantastic arc, Rob. You're correct. Court of Owls, some of Snyder's best work.
How about Star Wars number 47?
Oh, yes.
Very nice.
Droid World. Kill all humans. Key alert. We have Alpha Flight 17, the first appearance of Big Hero 6.
Yes.
So there you are.
Very cool.
And next book, another facsimile, The Avengers, number 8, Kang the Conqueror.
Wow.
He's kind of popular right now.
So there you are. Congratulations there, Seth. Make sure you hit me up with your information over on Instagram at robs.fatstacks or email me at robs.fatstacks@gmail.com. So get your address so I can get those shipped out to you. Congratulations. We'll be doing another giveaway from the box here at the end of the show. So make sure you guys are continue to stick with us. In the meantime, though, we'll get back into some comics. Make sure that you guys are following our guests on Instagram. Check them out at TKB_comics.
Cool.
All right.
That was fun.
Yeah.
You got winners. That's awesome.
Banger books. We don't just give away junk books on this channel.
Clearly not. So before I get started on the second half, just quickly, growing up in a kind of first generation household, I'm Chinese, I'm half Chinese. I did not grow up on Disney films. I grew up on Bruce Lee films.
Okay.
And so this is kind of in part why I think, the early Bruce Lee film, he was very much a hero in just about every film he's ever done. And maybe that kind of influenced my kind of love for comics. And so because I grew up on every Bruce Lee film, I became a Brandon Lee fan as well. Rest in peace.
Here it comes.
And so I was not a fan of The Crow because I'd never heard of it until the film came out, and I watched it very, very closely after Brandon's passing. And I found this, no joke, in a $2 bin. Found the Caliber Presents 1 and a 9/8.
My goodness.
Oh, God, Peter, hit me!
Yeah!
Ow!
So I love this book for obvious reasons.
In a 9/8.
Yeah.
Oh,
Tom,
Nick is going crazy right now.
Oh my goodness, there he is. Yeah, just in a 9.8.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Wow.
Our buddy Nick Kicks and Comics, huge Crow fan.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Recently showed off. He got a copy of this. He worked with CBCS to actually get them to slab it backwards for him. So the crow was facing outward because he had it. The back of the cover was signed, and I think it was remarked by
Yes,
James
it was.
Obar.
Yeah, it was
Oh,
remarked by
nice.
James L. or James.
Yeah, phenomenal.
That's
There
very
you go.
cool.
My wife is saying it's time for the boner pants.
Yes.
I don't know what that means, but
Stretchy pants.
That's wow. Just wow.
so in that line, in that vein, I got to pull out my Crow #1.
Yes. Look at that.
So
It's terrific too.
if you know,
Love
you
it.
know.
Love it.
That's right.
Love it.
Can't rain all the time.
It can't rain all the time.
Yeah.
So,
Onions make you fart. Yes. So many good one-liners from that movie, man. Yeah, that's
so true.
such a special book too.
Yeah, was that when that movie come out? Like 90, 94?
Yeah,
Well, let's
I
see,
was somewhat 92 to 94 for sure.
Yeah, because I was at university, so
Yeah, I saw it the Friday opening night. I don't. You know what? Let's. I'll Google that right now,
Okay.
boys.
But man, that movie had it all, didn't it? It just like had
1994.
Soundtrack. Yeah.
I'm sorry, Rob.
1994.
Okay, that soundtrack it had the cinematography.
Soundtrack was off the hook.
Oh, totally. Yeah.
Yep. May
And,
11th, 1994.
And they tried to do some other stuff with the franchise, and they never kind of replicated that magic.
A couple of different sequels, yeah, and it came out after that. But
TV show.
the first, I think the movie was great, but there was just that extra impact because of the fact that
Yeah.
Brandon Lee had passed during it and stuff that just really made everybody really want to go see it, and really made it resonate that much more when you're talking about a hero who dies and comes back for his love, and when the actor who's portraying him died filming that, it just talk about being a method actor. Holy shit.
Right. And the curse of the Lee family too,
Right,
just
exactly.
dying way too young. All right, let's lift the spirits here. That was getting a little bit dark.
And Stone Temple Pilots were on that one as well.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, shifting hard left turn. Just gonna throw it up here. So always love this Neil Adams cover. The book itself, I think, always was for me kind of emblematic of the beginning of the Bronze Age, and it's beautiful.
Yeah,
Beautiful book in the 9.2.
Yeah, I think this cover is every Neil Adams fan top 10.
Hmm.
It just depends where they place it, who the fan is, but yeah, I think this cover is top 10 for everyone. And my opinion, like outside of the first couple of Green Lantern issues, probably one of the most famous covers of all. Yeah, that and the Junkie issue
Across history.
Yeah,
and the Junkie issue, sure.
Yeah, I
think so too. So I knew I wanted to, being such a Marvel file, I needed to have some DC in here. But if I was going to do that, I wanted to pull a Neil Adams cover, and I had a short stack of Batman Neil Adams stuff that are gorgeous, but I chose this one, and it wasn't really that hard of a choice, but great book. All right. Okay, so and that book that I just showed, it's an iconic book. It's clearly key, but there's no first appearance or anything like that. It just is.
Mm-hmm.
And so I have another book that it's a key, but why? And I don't have an answer for that. It's just fucking cool cover.
Okay. Yes.
Surfer
there
4.
you go, Spidey.
Go back to Marvel books. All right.
Might as well give Mad Spidey some love there.
Yeah. The Battle on the Rainbow Bridge. That's
Mhm.
it's just an iconic cover, and it got so much love during the COVID bubble because I never thought of this particular book being that valuable. And then during the COVID bubble, over that period of time, it just went through the roof.
It really did.
And like high grade became large four-digit book, a large four-digit value. Yeah, it's again, a lot of those early Silver Surfer keys really took off during the COVID bubble.
So, we're being a completionist, like seeking out runs, Silver Surfer seemed really accessible because there's only 18 issues in the entire run. But this is help me understand why every single damn issue it's never softened. The values of these books have never softened. And so I don't have more than like 3 in the run. I just can't.
The people who love Silver Surfer, they love Silver Surfer.
Yeah,
Love Silver Surfer.
Yeah, both Stanley and Kirby spoke very high of the character. We know that it's a Kirby offshoot character, aside from Stanley. But Stanley always talked about his fondness for the Surfer. When he talked about true heroes, Silver Surfer was always one that he mentioned, whereas Dr. Doom was the one that he talked about the most on the other side of the coin. But Jack Kirby, I've seen interviews talking about the Silver Surfer and that he just had so much fun creating it. So I guess that just resonates with some people. But yeah, that cover, it's just the blacks, but how colorful it really is. It's awesome.
It's awesome.
Good for you, 8.0. Looks like it could be a 9.8 from here.
It's beautiful. There's like a big old color breaking crease right there in the corner.
Yeah, I saw it. Yeah.
That's what got me. Okay. So we got a little theme of like these iconic covers, right? So let's sticking with that theme. We're going to Avengers 4.
Whoa.
First Silver
that's a
Sky.
great cover. Great cover. We always love this one because of the transparent shield. I don't know why I love that so much.
Even as a Canadian, I love this cover.
Sure.
Yeah,
I think this is my favorite Iron Man armor, just with the pointy ears,
the pointy faceplate.
Oh.
Yeah, yeah.
The devil faceplate. Yeah.
And so I referenced earlier the What If number 3, and I think Tony was wearing this armor too. So yeah.
I don't know why I'm always a fan of the original gold armor. It's one of the ones that, for whatever reason, jumps out to me as my favorite. But I always seem to do that. I like Alan Scott, Green Lantern. I like the Jay Garrett Flash. I don't know why I'm stuck on all these old guys. Old
It's
versions.
okay, man. It's okay.
I like the classics.
For sure. Yeah, I'd love for the old.
Red and gold is pretty classic. Let's be honest.
It is, but no, I get the love for the old Tales of Suspense armor too, which are books really hard to find at high grade.
Oh yeah.
Really
yeah.
tough to find.
Those ones were read a lot.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Well, I aim to please. I know you like the gold armor, so I'm going to show you this one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah! Yeah!
Cool. So I couldn't get the Spidey run, but like the Avengers remain relatively affordable, so I just sought out the Avengers run. I have the first 250 issues. I got this one pretty early on. This is actually the second copy that I have. The first copy I had came back with a bunch of glue on the spine. I'm going to see if I can have that restoration removed, but this is the upgraded copy, and I love it.
Yeah.
Such a great.
Just no words.
No words.
Look, there's Loki. In case everyone didn't notice, Loki's on that cover.
Hey, you want to go and do your job here, Chris?
Okay. Tom, for
Yeah.
everyone that's watching, would you mind reading us the right side of the blue label and telling us the information about that book?
Absolutely. Origin and first appearance of the Avengers, Fantastic Four, Loki, and Teen Brigade appearance. Teen Brigade.
That's who I always remember that book for.
Yes. Yeah. For me, it's the Fantastic Four appearance. But here we are.
Teen Brigade.
Yeah.
Super.
Is that the Marvel's version of the Teen Titans that never really caught fire?
I don't know. Never to be heard from again until Liefeld stole the IP for Image Comics.
Oh, wasn't the only time I did that. Give me 2 seconds. All right, hold on.
Oh, well, he's doing that, guys. Again, remember for those of you who've been hesitant because about super chats, which benefit comics curing cancer, we did retire today. The dad bods are gone. There will be no dancing dad bods with any super chats. Just so you guys know, there's actually some new ones. So
New dad bots?
no dad bods at all. New super chat clips actually.
Gotcha.
So.
All right. So I love mutants. All right. So we know where we're going with this.
Mutant lover.
I just do.
Is
I
it about
do.
to get all Canadian on this channel now?
That's all right. My wife's a huge mutant lover herself.
Love
she's-
mutants.
yeah.
So my favorite characters when I was 12, 13 was Wolverine.
Nice.
Back then in the early 80s, he was very mysterious. He was like the bad boy of the team. No one really knew his origin. This is before Quesada's origin stuff came out. I guess it wasn't Quesada, it was Kubert. But part of trying to figure out who Logan was like, where did he come from? Who were his parents? And there was a time where we thought this guy was his dad. And so Iron Fist 14 for Sabretooth. This has been in my collection for some time. And came back 9.4. I was pretty happy with that grade.
Yeah.
So-
Who couldn't be happy with a 9.4, right?
And did this take place in Canada?
I
There's some
don't
snow.
think so. For some reason, I thought that was around Kunlun. I thought Sabretooth
Okay.
was attacking that
Yeah.
area, and that's his first. I might be wrong, but from what I remember, I thought that's what it was. No, he
That's
wasn't.
a real-
He's not. He wasn't affiliated with Canada just yet.
Yeah. So I just really love like this era of comic covers. Like this is an Al Milgram cover, but like Cockrum did so many covers during this era. Gil Kane did a lot too. And they rarely did like the interior art, but like there's something about this era of covers. I think, I don't know, having like flashbacks going to my LCS and just checking out the new books on the wall.
Mhm.
Just that dopamine that floods your system when you see all these fresh books. That's it. All right. Canada coming up right here. Have you guys heard of this book?
Yeah, this is my best ever.
That other 181. No, not the one you're thinking of. That the other 181. This is it.
Yeah.
There's three 181s.
First
by the
cover
way.
appearance of the Wolverine.
Right.
I don't care. If we're gonna talk iconic covers, you're looking
Yeah.
at it right now, baby.
So earlier I spent $70 on the first Punisher. At the time when I bought this, I think it was late teens. I was 19 or so, and this was on the wall of my LCS. And I didn't have any money. I scraped together $73 to buy this.
What an investment.
$73. And just been in a Mylar for decades. Had it pressed and cleaned and came back at 6. Super happy.
Awesome. Yes,
Chris?
Lauren Rad. Wolverine was first.
Chris,
Not-
you care to
not by much.
venture on this one?
In a 6.0,
How has his investment gone today? Has he done well?
I think
Well,
he
yes.
I think he's
Right.
I think he's turned a profit.
Well, he hasn't sold it yet.
Because
Until
I
he
know
sells
I
it-
have like a
unt-
2.0 and I
he's-
paid a lot more than that.
Until he sells it, he has not turned a profit.
Right. 35? Like because I know everything's kind of cooled down right now. Like, or am I still maybe I'm south of where I should be.
You're
35
you're
to
not
4.
You're not too far off.
Okay.
So February 12th of this year, 4,200.
Okay.
February 7th of this year was 3,500. And February 5th of this year was 3,800. So 35 to 42 is our last 3 transactions this month.
Yeah.
Actually, continuing on this month, there was a 4,100. So yeah, basically you're right. You're right in that target range of the lower end of where you could get this book potentially to a high in the low 4s right now.
Yeah.
But I would say you did okay
I
for
think I
your
did fine.
$73 investment. Congratulations.
So I'm in my comic cave right now, the TKB comic cave. It's really just an office that I built where I do a lot of my work. I'm a psychologist and I do a lot of report writing.
Mm-hmm.
And so since I spent so much time here,
Izzy, why would he take a loss for it?
I've
That makes no sense.
got these statues. I don't know if you can tell. I've got like Spidey
Yeah.
statues and stuff, and I got a Punisher statue up there. But like
Yeah.
way this way in my maybe if I can
Wait a second.
turn
Was that a
this.
second copy of Punisher of
Yeah, was
Amazing
that
Spider-Man
another
129?
129?
So this is the acetate cover from Wizard
Oh,
Comics.
okay.
Oh, okay.
The Humberto Ramos cover.
Right.
Yeah,
Got it. Okay.
no, that one was not $70. It was like $7. But I don't know if you can see that way over here.
Down by the Hulk 180?
Yeah. So it's a bunch of statues. You can't see the Hulk. You can see Hulk's foot and
Yes.
Wendigo.
No.
And then it's basically a 181 diorama.
Nice.
So I have that. It's fun to look at. Okay, moving on. So we were talking about mutants. I've got a X-Men #1.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, this is my best ever.
And this cover just goes to show, if you ever see Magneto, everyone, just throw snowballs at him.
Right. So yeah,
Oh,
at
they're
first
not
glance,
magnetic.
right. This is a restored copy.
Who cares?
But
It doesn't matter.
this is literally the first slab I've bought in my entire life. I got this about 10 years ago. And then I didn't buy another slab until about 3 years ago. My collection was largely raw, but I wanted to do something big and nice for myself. And so I got this. So
There you go. They're all coming in. Drools, the woos, the fires,
Yeah.
the damn bro, the
Damn
love in
bro.
the fire. They're speechless, just tripping over their own words.
Mm-hmm.
Even
Even
my wife.
Rob's wife.
They have, oh my. Oh my. This is a spicy one.
yeah.
Seriously, you're just a small town collector. Leave this collection. I love this collection.
Awesome.
Yeah, it presents really nicely. It's really beautiful.
Yeah. That's awesome. Holy cow.
So yeah, one of clearly the biggest keys in the X-Men run. This one coming up.
Just a little bit.
This one's big too.
Oh.
Oh, God, Peter, hit me!
Yeah.
Ow!
0.5. I don't know. As I grew up reading the X-Men, and like you said, I think the first X-Men arc that I picked up on was Murder World. For everyone that's not
123.
aware of that one, that's where Arcade gives Wolverine his new suit, the brown suit, the beige and brown suit. That's starts there. And I read that. I read the entire run after that, going through so many changes. Shadowcat, and then Rogue joining the X-Men, and Storm becoming the leader and everything. For me, this is the X-Men book that I would go for the hardest. This particular one. Before X-Men 1, I would go after GSX 1. Just because this is the team that I read first. The Byrne Claremont era, fantastic stuff.
No, I'm with you. Yeah, it's really the era of X-Men that turned me on to why I love the X-Men so much.
Yeah.
Nothing against like the blue and gold X-Men from issue 1 to 93. But it was something about the magic of Claremont and Cockrum, and then John Byrne
This
coming
book
in.
saved the whole
initially.
damn franchise.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's just so much fun. And the way Claremont wrote in hindsight, he was such a kind of like a long game, slow burn writer. And
Yeah, he wasn't afraid to kill characters off. Like Thunderbird was introduced here a couple issues later.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Speaking of Thunderbird, his second appearance and second to last appearance, X-Men 94. Love this book. This was a massive book that I wanted when I was a kid. It was one of those books, those grails that you chased in the early 80s. Didn't own it until my late 20s, early 20s. And I know people hate this cover. I love this cover. I love this cover.
It's a fun cover.
Right?
Yeah. like all new, all different. Yeah, this.
Mhm.
Okay, awesome cover from Dr. Von Hoot.
Yeah,
Thank you.
It's yep.
And again, Gil Kane. There's something about like the poses.
No, dear, it is not signed. It would have a yellow label if it was signed,
No,
or green.
someone put like a date in.
Yeah,
grease pen
date
there,
stamp.
but-
Yeah, that was not uncommon when you were checking books in for stores and whatnot, especially if it was a store that was turned over their inventory, such as like a newsstand. Essentially, they would, or a news shop or something. They would put a date stamp on it when it was to either when it came in or when it was to go away.
I'm a big fan of date stamps. I don't know. It's just added character to the book.
Yeah, unfortunately, CGC does the right thing and doesn't count a date stamp against it. So
Yeah, I agree. So there was a period of time where I walked away from the hobby. It was somewhere in high school where I felt like if everyone found out I was a
was
comic
it
collector-
when Maximum Clonage came out? Because I understand.
It was I'm much older than I look. I'm just really immature, so like my actual age is it's hard to detect. But yeah, I stopped collecting from about 84 to about 91. All right, so I missed all the McFarlane Spidey stuff. I missed the beginning of Venom. I didn't know who Cable was or X-Force or none of that stuff. But what got me back in the comics, I remember my girlfriend at the time and we put our names in this restaurant to have lunch, and we were just waiting around. There was like a comic book store. Actually, it was A1 Comics in Sacramento. And I walked in there just to like reacquaint myself. Like, oh, comic books. It's been like 6-7 years. Like, what's going on in comics right now? And at the front desk, there was a stack of Jim Lee X-Men #1s, the relaunch of X-Men.
Yeah.
And the art was so amazing. It was just, I had never seen anything like it before. It just really, really pulled me back in. So I credit Jim Lee pulling me back into the hobby, because without me seeing that X-Men #1, it's not really likely, given at the time where I'm just trying to survive my undergraduate education, just didn't have the money for it. So got back into it, read all the Jim Lee stuff, and then from there learned about Silvestri, learned about McFarlane, about these guys that are like band together and form Image Comics. And so when Jim Lee was going to do a private signing with CGC, I'm like, I've got to submit some books. And so I submitted 5 and 3 for Remark. 2 of the remarks, I wanted very specific characters, like 1 Wolverine, 1 Magneto, and the 3rd, I'm like, dealer's choice. Whatever you want to draw me, I'm going to be happy with it. Just draw me whatever you want. And so on his first X-Men work, which was 248, he drew me a Gambit.
Oh,
And
Wow.
it's gorgeous
yes.
Wow.
for a Remark. It just really pops. Like sometimes you can't see remarks, or you can tell like the artist didn't spend a lot of time or thought into it. I really feel like this was the case with Jim. Like he really took it seriously.
Was this must have been a while ago that you got this done?
No,
Oh,
no, it was just a year ago. If
really?
that. Yeah.
Wow.
No, 6 months ago.
Okay.
Oh wow.
So
As
pretty
I
sweet.
say, in the past, I haven't seen. Sometimes some of his remarks are a little more mechanical
Hmm.
these days. He's a busy man, but yeah, it's,
Right. He doesn't draw X-Men every day anymore. You know.
no. The company that he works for wouldn't frown too happy with him drawing X-Men all the time.
Right. I did have the pleasure of meeting him briefly at C2. Is it C2E2 or E2C2?
Yeah. So C2E2. Yep.
So he was doing a signing then, and I brought in a couple of original pages from Jim Lee. I have about 4 common pages, and I brought 1 book to sign. It was his first professional artwork, called a book called Samurai Santa.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
And he didn't do the pencils; he did the inks on it. Okay, and so I pulled out this book, and he just went, "Oh, come on!" And I'm like, "Do you remember this book?" He's like, "Yeah, I remember this book. It's like the porn I did in my past that's like coming back to haunt me.
The Italian stallion of his career.
Exactly.
Oh,
Like,
great.
oh my god! So he signs it. And he's like, yeah, he was just really cool. All right, so you guys have about 5 books left, and then
Okay.
All right.
for you. And so after I completed my Spider-Man run, just kind of take inventory of what you have in your personal collection. You're like, what do I want to work on now? And decided to work on the Fantastic Four. And so started slowly chipping away at these big books, and this is one of them. Fantastic
That's a
Four.
big book.
Some may say.
I've heard of it.
Pish posh.
Well, I'll just no, just kidding. Yeah, so First Galactus, and it's always been a big book, and who knows what will happen once this guy gets introduced into
and
the
that's
MCU.
a well-placed custom label as well.
I agree. It's the first time that they issued this custom label, and I don't think CGC did a good job because Ben is covered up.
Yep. This is the problem I've had on some of their labels. Some of them are slid over and they just have dead space there, and some of them don't. They really need to either figure that out on their custom label, or they need to move this hologram to the backside, because it is pure Bravo Sierra that you spend the money that you spend for that label to then have it obscured by their stupid sticker. But I don't have an opinion on it, really, as you can tell.
Mr. Comics is a fan of that label. He's just never big on pen anyway. Preferred the other 3.
Wow.
Fantastic 3 and the other guy.
All right. Another key from Fantastic Four. First Silver Surfer. Poor Ben is covered up again.
Such an iconic cover too.
See,
Pure
I'd move it to the
Kirby
back
greatness.
as well. Yes, I am a fat man with a fat opinion. Ben is the best.
Yeah, I agree.
So this book has got a total crazy misrap. And I mean, I'm not going to throw it away or anything like that, but it's just interesting to me.
I always love these the whole you got to work out and get big. Oh, I'm going to turn you.
Not exactly dad bods, but
no. Well, we got rid of those, so it's okay.
7.0.
First Silver Surfer 7.0.
Yeah.
And okay. Should I just keep going?
Oh, yeah. Please do.
Okay.
Don't.
All right. A couple more.
Yep.
First
the
fantastic car.
Nice.
First costumes.
Yes.
I picked this up at C2E2 again in Chicago right before the pandemic. Gives you an idea of how recent it's been for me to wrap up this series. Pretty happy. 4.0. And there's a huge old sub crease right here. So
I was gonna say, because it looks a lot better in a 4.0.
It's that damn sub crease.
Those damn subscription copies.
But it's fine. I don't.
Oh yeah,
it's
Fantastic Four.
Well, what's nice about them is you can get a great looking book that just has one crease in it. It's like, and it's part of this, and it's part of the collecting history of those books. Was it that they folded them in a mailer and stuck them in the mail to you, man?
Totally. And lived in someone's back pocket for who knows how long.
Right. Yeah. And it was funny because I had a subscription to Marvel in the 90s. You were still able to subscribe directly from them. Now, they didn't fold them in half at that point. Instead, they just stuck them in a manila envelope and sent them. There was no backing board or anything else. It was just stuck in a manila envelope. I mean, you think we complain about how books arrive today from eBay sellers and whatnot? You should. What Marvel would do is criminal.
Totally.
Love how books have so much. Oops.
Fantastic Four 2.
The scrolls.
For scrolls. And check it out. Custom label. Ben's back.
All right.
Oh, they shifted it slightly. Yeah.
They corrected. Ben lives.
Yeah. And
Last
it-
10-cent issue.
Oh, blue
Is
eyes.
the Fantastic Four logo behind the 5.0 window there?
Oh.
No.
Yes, there is actually.
Yeah.
Oh,
There
See?
it is. Yep.
yeah.
You can
So
see.
so it's a 54.0.
It's a
Right.
or 45, depending on perspective.
Yeah,
You
the
can
trade
see
dress on yellow is
behind
beautiful.
me.
It just
Yeah.
The statues here.
Yep.
We got Super Scroll, Doom, and the First Family.
nice.
All right.
One more
So
book.
I only have one
Banger
more
after
guys.
banger
This
after
is it, folks.
banger after banger after banger. Yeah, absolutely.
It's got to go big or go home, right?
All right.
All right. So this is the last one I got for you.
Yeah! Yeah!
FF1.
So what a show. So just to recap the show for those of you guys who weren't paying attention today, we had Fantastic Four #1, we had X-Men #1, we had Amazing Spider-Man #1, we had Daredevil #1. Did I already say X-Men #1?
Giant size
Giant size
X-Men
X-Men.
number.
Hulk 181.
Thank
Sir,
The
you.
most important Marvel book of all time.
and just so
Yeah.
nobody could complain, there was a DC book there.
Yes. Yes, if you have forgotten, Green Lantern, Green Arrow was on this show.
Okay,
Right.
Remy might be underselling it.
I touched on Silver Age, I touched on Bronze Age, I had one like Soul Modern Age.
That's right. I'm disappointed though. No timely Submariner. I mean,
No,
come on.
no Golden Age.
No
Tom.
Archies. You
Well,
sure,
we'll let you
Tom?
slide this time.
All right.
Wow, what a
Holy
collection.
cow. Ladies and
collection.
gentlemen, smoke if you got them.
Yeah.
All
Wow.
right. Thank you so much, Tom, for
Yeah.
agreeing to come on and bringing that. I mean, I can't imagine if you were saying that you had problems whittling it down to that. I can't imagine what else was sitting there in the collection there. So, bravo to you. You should. Thank
Thanks,
you.
you guys.
Oh,
And
thank
This
you.
was a
like
lot
I
of
said
fun.
at the top of the show, you know, if Deadpool behind him isn't coming down for this show, he's right.
Right.
Some good books. I think I need a nap after all this. Wow. That's
I'm smoking something right now. Well, very good for you, Flash Ray.
All
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for another giveaway. Go ahead and hit it with hashtag OnlySlabs. You know how we do it. This week, again, like I said, I'm sorry, next week, join us again. Make sure you've hit that notification bell so you know when we go live. Not that we change it up on you crazy, but Jerry the Jitterbug, great lineup coming right now, folks. We are booked up through Heroes Con. When is Heroes Con, you ask? Well, I'm glad you asked. Heroes Con is going to be coming up on June 16th through the 18th. So we're booked up through there. Chris and I will be busy that weekend at Heroes Con. There might be a special, but there's no official scheduled show there. But if you're going to be out there, by all means, say hi to Chris and I. We might have something special for you.
7-Eleven. You got to add the S on Only Slabs.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not only slab. So anyways, if you're interested in being a guest, by all means, hit me up. Anyways, I always like to have people on standby in case somebody every once in a while it happens. So if somebody doesn't can't show up or make it, or at least when I get close, start booking again for June and July, we can start to reach out to you. Just hit me up at robs.fatstacks on Instagram or robs.fatstacks@gmail.com. Either way. These are trickling in here. I know you don't do YouTube there, Tom, but anything coming up or making any other appearances coming up soon when we give you a chance to promote anything?
I really don't. I think my 2023 resolution was just to spend more time on the IG page. I was going to put up more reels, more videos, more unboxings.
Nice.
So, just come by the IG and, follow me.
Phenomenal. Yeah. Follow him at TKB Comics, and also on his site, there will be a link to his not link tree, but it's follow or whatever you're about me. I don't know what it's called, but anyways, you can get linked over to his eBay store as well if you want to check out what he's casting on his cast offs and help him fund some more big books. Super chat. Thank you to Revolver Comics. Says great show. We'll go ahead and launch one of the new ones that has been added just for you, sir. Yeah, thank you.
That's the first time I ever asked for anything I really wanted.
Nice.
Wow.
It's better than dancing dad bods, right? Unless, of course, you're really into dad bods, in which case, I guess you can hit me up. I'll send you the clips. All right. So OnlySlabs, we got 36 out of 47 people. Go ahead and check your typo again, guys. If you want to participate, we're going to pull the books here in just a moment. Again, we do ship internationally. Just ask some of our past international winners like Dr. Von Hoot and Man Smitey. And of course, all of our Canadian friends. I don't restrict. I'm not mean. All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Boom. There we go. We're spinning it. Let's see who wins it. All right. And this winner is Patow. Couching and slouching with C-Bizzle. Congratulations, sir. Right. So let me move this here. Let's make this big here. And Chris, you're going to be helping out C-Bizzle. What are we going to do for him?
All right. Since we don't always get Fantastic Four #1 on the show, we do get a lot of Fantastic Four, but #1 seems to be that unicorn. So let's go 4 from the front, 4 from the back.
All right. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. All right.
All right. Let's go front to back. Stop. We'll take those 2 books that your figure splits are on, and we'll go back to front. Stop. And same thing.
All right.
Back. All right, Couch and Slouching, this is for you, my man.
First up, Star Wars issue 73.
Oh, yes.
Nice.
Big shiny UPC code there, too. Let's go.
And, of course, you'll get your Pokemon cards in every box here, courtesy of Twerking Tyler. Deadpool, Black, White, and Blood, issue #1.
It's a great cover.
Very
Great
cool.
cover.
Action Comics 1000.
I think that's Jim Lee as well.
No, this is Tyler Kirkham variant.
Oh, Kirkham, pardon me.
We always love some DNA on this show. How about Obi-Wan?
Wow.
Nice. That's cool.
Wow. Akiyama delivers again.
Yes. Holy cow. Sorry, I don't know anything about Pokemon cards. I say this over and over again, but this one is super hollow, shiny. I don't know what that is. I don't know if that's good or not. But like I've said, the 90s says for comics, it's a big deal. I don't see any pouches on it though. So, anyways, actually, is that a Pokemon card or is that something else? I don't know. Anyways, how about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles #128?
Wow.
And
Look
we
at
got
Leo there. That's
5
awesome.
turtles. So this must have that. I don't know. Jenica, I guess. I don't know much about turtles, but. All right, last book. Tank Girl #1.
Very cool.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, congratulations there, Couchin and Slouchin. Make sure you send me your information again on Instagram at robs.fatsack so that way I can get that shipped out to you. Everybody who came on out today, thank you for coming, being with us. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you for being here and supporting the channel. Don't forget, on your way out, please hit that like and subscribe button. Hit the notification bell. You'll be with us again next week when we have our guest, Jerry the Jitterbug, with us. TKB Comics, Tom, thank you, sir, very much, guys. If you haven't, again, give him a follow there on Instagram. Check out his collection and see the stuff that's coming out from him.
My pleasure.
All right, until next time, guys, as I was going to say, collect what you want. Don't listen to anybody, including myself. I'm just a fat man with a fat stack of comics and a fat opinion. Thanks for watching.